Thomas Tuchel has most of his squad available tonight. Clearly we're going to see people in at different stages over the course of these matches. They have some experience, the Oppo, none more than him, the keeper with the curly hair, Guillermo Ochoa.
I think sometimes though in pre-season, Ben, we always look to see if there's maybe a change in formation from the manager. You know, what does he want to do? Does he want to try things out? Do you want to try players in positions we're not used to seeing them, and are they going to perform in those positions? Look at players like Conor Gallagher. You know, is he going to come back after being out on loan and having such a wonderful season last year? Just wonder if this season he can step up to the level of Chelsea and really stamp his mark and make a place his own. You know, it's a great opportunity for players during pre-season to perform well.
The size of the stage here, enormous, as we'd all come to expect in the States. Here's the new look Blues. No faffing about with the kit like that very much. Simple, right shade of blue, classic.
Always works for me. Blue and white, brilliant. I think as always though, we always say, you know, this is always a period of pre-season when it's all about getting fit. We keep saying that year after year. But it's an individual thing for players. They know when they're getting fitter and fitter and how many minutes they're going to be playing today. Maybe some of these know already that they're only going to be doing 45 minutes. They'll get changed at half time, and especially when it's the first and second games, you get those changes quite often in the game.
Well, here's the Chelsea lineup. Conor Gallagher starts, one of many of last season's loanees who are back looking to impress. He'll feel like a new signing. So will Ben Chilwell after missing so much of the last campaign. Only a handful of squad members aren't involved in some capacity here tonight. Callum Hudson-Odoi, another who missed a lot, certainly at the end of the season through injury. One or two other more forgotten names like Ross Barkley, and plenty more on the bench. And that is the thing, you just never know. Sometimes you could be a little bit surprised. There's someone who's maybe he's in, maybe he's out kind of guy in Thomas Tuchel's mind, and maybe transfers dictate that perhaps he stays, and then that's an opportunity.
I think what you need to do is to show a spark, so show something to the manager that he hasn't seen before, and if you can do that in pre-season, you know, you've got a chance.
Henry Martin is a regular scorer for the 14-time Mexican champs. Miguel Layún, another who you might remember. He's played all over Europe, including at Watford. They've got internationals in their side. Away we go. 4 games to get set for the new campaign, that's all. This, Charlotte in midweek, Arsenal next weekend, and Udinese. Let's see how the boys in blue get going. A clash of nations.
That's the first one for us, Ben. It's going to be a back three, which is how we played, and probably played at our best last season. We did change it on 1 or 2 occasions, but Thomas Tuchel's certainly going with a back three as we've been used to playing, so that's interesting.
Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Malang Sarr being the 3.
Interesting one in midfield as well, Ross Barkley and Conor Gallagher. If we watched much of Conor last season at Palace, I think we remember that he was always getting forward and seemed to be scoring goals. So it'd be interesting, because we know Ross Barkley loves getting forward. So it'd be interesting in between the two of them, who sits, who goes forward, who joins into the front 3. You know, all that part of it is going to be a part of this game today.
Ziyech and the newly shorn Callum Hudson-Odoi up there with Kai Havertz. Expecting another season perhaps of a fluid front 3, and they were nearly off and running there. Ziyech clipped, free kick Chelsea.
Tell you what, he did well as well to win the first challenge. And it started very sharp, hasn't it, which is good to see. We're only a minute and a half into the game, and there's 1 or 2 sharp challenges. That's a great challenge there from Ziyech. Gets caught, gets clipped as he's trying to get away. On another day, possibly a yellow card.
Sebastian Cáceres, the Uruguayan, with the foul. They're 3 games in. They've won 1, drawn 1 and lost 1. Club America, but more than happy, of course, for the glamour to fit in some friendlies for clubs who haven't started yet, like Chelsea. They've got Real Madrid and Man City as well. They won in midweek for the first time with a very, very late goal. So you would think they should be, just in terms of their own individual fitness, a little bit sharper being 3 games in.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable, isn't it? But one thing we've got to be careful of with the back 3, we know Thiago Silva's going to be sort of the central man. Trevor Chalobah's played that position quite a lot. Malang Sarr maybe not so often, but you know, though that position, you know, we've lost a couple of defenders in Tony Rudiger, so Andreas Christensen, so we've got to you know, make sure we keep that tight at the back. And obviously, as I said again, another challenge coming in.
And the card is out already.
That's an early yellow card.
It's Jurgen Damm, and Kennedy showing typical bull-like strength, wasn't he, here? I mean, he's probably fouled about 3 or 4 times over in that.
Yeah, he was brilliant just before that as well. Really rode the challenge as well. But I think that one coming in was over-aggressive. Shows his studs as he slides in. Whether he catches Kennedy or not too sure. But, you know, it was the nature of the challenge, and that's where the yellow card comes.
You never know at this point who will be staying, who might be going out on loan. Conor Gallagher here has had nothing but successful loans so far. It's not always the way. Sometimes you have 1 or 2 that don't work out, but Swansea, Charlton, West Brom, and then Palace at top level. As Clive said, 8 goals, and just getting a season where he was starting pretty much each week. Everything he wanted.
Just limping slightly there, Kennedy, from that challenge a few moments ago. Just tries to play the ball around the back and just misses the ball completely. Just wonder if he's really up to full fitness at the moment from that knock, maybe just trying to run that off.
Reyes with the throw, wearing the classic number 206. Ben Chilwell just has it pinched off him by Sanchez. Sarr with the defending, and first bit of handling for Kepa.
Oh, well, Ben Chilwell's one we haven't spoken about in these early stages yet, and of course it will take him quite a while to get up to speed. I mean, fitness-wise, I would think he's probably on par with the others, but you know, match fitness is a different thing, and when you haven't played for such a long time, you tend to take time over doing that. Just Kai Havertz backing in here and creating a back and causing the foul. Good right decision as well from the referee.
And Lukaku off for the season. Back to Inter. In terms of forward line, a lot of noise about Ziyech. And Sterling incoming. Will it be another season of fluid front 3?
I think a difficult one is with Kai Havertz a little bit, because the lad is so talented for me. I mean, he is one that's on his way. That's not a foul. He's won the ball cleanly there, Kennedy. His momentum took him into the player, but he's actually pinched the ball. You see it again. There we go. Yeah, good challenge. Coming together, but you know, it's physical.
Boom. Solid boy.
Yeah, I mean, we're just saying about Kai Havertz, you know, a lot of people suggest perhaps he's not really the number 9 type centre forward that we've seen obviously over the years at Chelsea, but you know, it's a different way these days with Thomas Tuchel, and Chelsea playing a different style, and he might just suit the situation, Kai Havertz. Just think he needs to play more often, as often as possible for me, if he's going to play that number 9 role.
He was knocking on for 50 appearances last season. Here he is. Most of them starts. 1 goal behind Lukaku in the end, and 1 more than Mason Mount. Here's Chilwell. He got himself 1 game right at the end of the season. He was just in a great run, and then Champions League in the autumn, the cruise ship went. I'd just be thrilled to be playing at all. There's another free kick here. It's been a pretty fractured start to this game, hasn't it, with the fouls?
I agree with you with Ben Chilwell as well. He'd be pleased to be getting back into it. I mean, it's a bit of a late chance. At the moment, the referee's blowing up for everything. Every physical contact, he seems to want to blow the whistle. It is very reactive, the game at the moment. You know, it seems that players want to get on the ball and want to move it on quickly, and it started very, very quick and sharp, and I think because of that you're getting the collisions and players are bumping into each other, and the referee's blowing for free kicks. But free kick for Chelsea here.
Nice position. That was Jurgen Damm again, who's the one who got carded earlier. Need to be careful. Barkley, Ziyech. It's the latter. And he went for the blind side, and it looked on target. Ochoa makes the stop. 1 back high, deflected, and a corner to follow a good free kick.
It's a decent save, you know. He's got hold of this, Ziyech. Really has put it into that bottom corner. Ochoa down quickly to his right hand side and pushes the ball away. It's a good save. It's a nice shot by Ziyech. Nice to see him taking those free kicks, because he's got such a lovely left foot. He's got the ability to score from there. We just perhaps need to see it a little bit more often. Tell you what I liked as well, Ross Barkley wins the ball back quickly and just delivers the ball in the box. And sometimes we say get the ball in there as early as you can. We haven't done it all the time.
Thiago Silva up just beyond Gallagher. Danger over for now.
Do you know what? I don't think he sees this coming back the other way, Conor Gallagher. If he sees it, maybe there's an overhead scissor kick here. His positioning is pretty good. Oh, this is a save from Ochoa. Decent enough. Free kick from Ziyech round the wall.
Yet to see Callum Hudson-Odoi on the ball.
Yeah, I just wonder about Callum as well. You know, he had the injuries last season, and you know, he'd be very disappointed because he went through a stage where he was absolutely terrific. Really was playing well. And I think that's the worst time. You know, you get so disappointed. We all know about the Achilles problem he had a couple of seasons ago, of course, and you want him to recover quickly, and he was just getting himself really into top gear. Unfortunately, series of injuries, and he was struggling to play towards the end of the season, so it'd be good for him to get a few games under his belt if he can.
There's Malang Sarr. He'd be one of those surprises from last season. Trevor Chalobah too. This time last year we wouldn't have thought we'd see all that much of either of them. They both played loads. That's a good ball into Ziyech. Wouldn't quite sit for him. You could see him just waiting. He wanted that extra split second for the ball to drop, and I'm sure he would have laced it into the back of the net.
Great ball in as well, wasn't it? Super delivery from Conor Gallagher. Just asking 1 or 2 questions at the moment. Just sharpening up after the first few minutes.
Decent hold-up play from Martin. 6 goals last season, their second top scorer. Might be in for half a chance here. Malang Sarr rather times that perfectly.
I tell you what, he showed a great turn of pace there, Malang Sarr, to get back into position. Good sliding challenge, times it to perfection, to be fair.
Ended up playing 21 games, Malang Sarr, 16 of them starts across the various competitions. Trevor Chalobah even more. Would be 2 good examples of the players who can surprise a coach, never mind the fans. Here's Hudson-Odoi, little 1-2 with Chilwell. Nice combination work, first chance to see Callum with the ball at his feet.
This was the moment a few minutes ago with Ziyech. Unlucky with the challenges. I think if he could get a left foot on there, almost certainly a goal, wasn't it? The ball just wouldn't come down enough for him.
Now he's on corner duty. It's over Sarr. It will reach Barkley. Hudson-Odoi falls back to Kerr. Good squeeze being put on here by Club America. That's a great take from Gallagher. What a lovely use of the body in first touch.
You know, it's a super first touch. I tell you what, it was the pace of the pass to him as well. You know, when the ball comes into you quickly, these lads, they don't worry about the speed of it. They've got such good touches. And Connor just proved it there, that on the half turn, just slides the ball past the midfield player coming in. And it was easy for him, but the pace on the pass coming in helped him out tremendously.
You wonder if he is to be a regular squad member this term, just exactly how he'll be used, and therefore, you know, whose place is potentially under threat.
It's difficult to pick a particular person who's going to play every single game at the moment. You know, if you look back to last season, there were several players you think, well, they're going to play every single day, and it didn't happen. I think we've got to remember the game's changed from what it was, where players are set in positions and going to always be there. There's going to be rotation. There's going to be players who are going to be given a chance. Players who do well. We've seen players do well and not play in the next game, and it's frustrating for them. But you know, the game's a different game to what it was 10 years ago.
See, this time last year, we were thinking there's probably not room for both of Ross Barkley and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. One, maybe both will go out on loan. Actually, they both ended up playing. Certainly Ruben, Ross less so, but you think he's in that mix too. You know, N'Golo hasn't gone anywhere, Jorginho, Kovacic, so there's too many in there.
There is too many.
So if Connor's going to stay, someone is going to go.
Yeah, one will go, I would think, at least one of them on loan. But again, these games are going to give you a chance to prove or show the manager that, you know, you've got something different to one of the others that's in there, which gives him choices and gives him options.
One thing you would say about Conor Gallagher, albeit he hasn't proved it in a Chelsea shirt, but he's done it in the Premier League, he's a more get in the box and finish him off midfielder than any of those other ones. Ross Barkley would say, hang on a minute, I can do that too. And maybe he can a bit, but Ruben doesn't score many. Jorginho, his goals are all penalties.
Yeah,
Kovacic,
Kanté,
well, they're as rare as anything. And N'Golo too. So that is something Connor has over there.
He certainly has, and I think that'll be one of the main reasons why he was brought back. Yes, we know he played really well on loan last season. He's always been a good player. We've watched him come through the youth ranks, Ben. You know, we know what he's capable of, but you know, to start adding goals to his game, if you look at any of the others in there, if they could do that as well, it suddenly changes you as a player. It's just misplaced a pass there as we say that, but you know, the goals mean everything. You know, we can look back, of course, at the great Frank Lampard and how his career massively changed at Chelsea with him scoring goals from midfield. You know, and Connor's got that capability.
Certainly one area that's going to be of real interest, how and where Sterling fits in and what that front line looks like. And then with two very regular defenders departing in Christensen and Rudiger. Well, K2 as he's nicknamed, Kalidou Koulibaly, and he does look like a mountain. He's A rock-like replacement, you think, back there. Might mean a bit more game time for Trevor Chalobah here. Up the line to Kennedy, who had a busy start to this game. Just giving it away there, though. Forward by Jonathan Dos Santos. Just got the toe in time there, Kennedy. And I think he's won the throw by playing it off him. Yes, he has. Right wing back for Kennedy here.
Well, we've seen him play quite a few different positions, haven't we? Since he's been at Chelsea. Been at Chelsea, of course, a long time now. Seems to keep coming back for pre-season, Ben, doesn't he? And then goes on loan somewhere.
Yes, he's had a lot of temporary homes. Of course, Hiddink used him as a left wing back a few times. He little run of games way back then. Again, good awareness from Gallagher on that half turn, letting it run that time. Chalobah sliding it down the side for Barkley.
Just overplayed it there. I missed a great run by Ross, as we said before. You know, who's going to be making the runs forward? As long as one goes and one stays, I would think that's the main priority, and both of them, with Conor Gallagher, have been making runs forward. But, you know, those little things like that pass from Trevor, overplayed on this occasion. First game, it happens.
Did he keep it in? He did not. That's a little on the sloppy side. We've seen 2 or 3 of those. You're going to get them in July. Difficult on a bounce like that. Kepa with the thumbs up.
Yeah, very difficult, but I'll tell you what, you make good contact with this. It's going to fly across the face of that goal and possibly into the far side netting, but contact was poor. All started with a poor pass, though, that gave the ball away. And these things are disappointing, but already said it, haven't we? It's going to happen in pre-season.
Keno with that hit. Plays international football for Peru. And there's his boss, Fernando Ortiz. Reyes pinching a few. Well spotted referee. Now Gallagher is fouled.
And again, I'm not sure if Conor had this ball under control here, but again, every challenge a player goes to ground. There's contact, isn't it, from Reyes?
Man then ball.
Yeah, arguably. Tackle him from the wrong side.
And with the wrong leg. Kurt Zouma style. Another good take from Gallagher. Into Havertz. Excellent layoff for Hudson-Odoi. Just getting a tiny bit stretched. Nicely done. The America fans up and enjoying this. 4 in the box. Dam trying to get his cross in. Chilwell doesn't let it happen, but they've got the second prize of a corner.
Do you know, I'd love to see that. I mean, I know it's pre-season, but I'd love to see that Ben all of a sudden has got some defending to do. You know, we haven't seen a great deal of him because of the injury. We want him to be up and to full speed playing again, and that'll do him the world of good. Great defending by him. Gets the block in, which is what he must do. Hopefully he gets it out for a throw-in or even for a goal kick, but you know what, it's important the cross didn't come in, and he did it well.
Corner kicks are brought to you by Universal Orlando.
Decent delivery, and Kepa had to come with a fist. Good distance on the punch. That's nicely done by Fidalgo. Danger not over yet. Approaching the midpoint of this first half. Ziyech looking for the free kick. Referee doesn't give this one.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was a free kick. I thought he did really well to get there.
Important tackle that from Chalobah. Now Ziyech. Havertz was on his bike. Good sliding challenge coming in there from Aquino.
Still lively, Ben, isn't it? Every occasion, challenges are being made time and time again. Good to see.
Second full season about to begin for Thomas Tuchel in charge. Incredible symmetry really with in terms of the ratios and what was done, the goals scored, everything really about the half season he had, then the full one. That's another good take from Gallagher. You want to see that, and we've seen it 3 or 4 times. Oh, what an effort from Kennedy. That left boot of his has always been a weapon. He's a powerful boy, and that was a powerful strike. Nearly hit Lee Parker behind the goal.
He's unlucky, isn't he? Really does well here, Kennedy. And again, as you say, Ben, the link-up play was superb through Conor Gallagher. Gets it up to Kennedy. All of a sudden, he just thinks to himself, do you know what, I can bend this into that far side netting. Just grazed the outside of the post. So unlucky.
Sweet hit. Just got another glimpse of Callum Hudson-Odoi there. You feel with him, I think probably similar to this time last year as you did about Pulisic, like, okay, it's time to see you go to the next level now.
Well, I think that the one thing we know about Chilwell, how good he can be and how important he is to the team.
Danger here. And while the Kennedy shot fizzed just wide, that one is a bit of a dribbler from Reyes.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a grass cutter, isn't it? There's really nothing in the shot. Does well, gets inside Kennedy and has a swing with the weaker right foot. Always going wide. This was the effort from Kennedy a few minutes ago. Much more effort on that one, wasn't it? Much more pace on the strike.
Havertz trying to get a tidy couple of touches there. Suddenly, it's Club America flying forward, 5 in the box, but also certain Thiago Silva. Havertz balked there, and it's going to bring a card for Keno.
I think he knows what he's doing. He's trying to pull his arm, isn't he? Trying to barge into him. He knows he's beaten for pace. I don't think he can have any complaints, to be honest.
No, but he did. I mean, absolutely, he'd done him there. Havertz would have got onto that ball, and it's a promising situation. That is a yellow card all day long.
I'll tell you what was interesting, just before that, Ben, the ball went out right-hand side for Club America. There's the foul again, pretty obvious. And the lad on the right-hand side, instead of putting the ball in first time, takes a touch, looks up, then he puts the ball in, and Thiago Silva gets himself in such good positions, read it so well, and just heads it clear. Made it so easy for him. Yet you put that in first time, it's a tougher job for a centre-back.
Yellow card issued to number 5 of Club America in the 26th minute.
Picked off by Kennedy.
He's unlucky as well, isn't he? I'd love to see him try and bring that down.
Such an immaculate season from Thiago Silva. I feel like he's getting younger every year. Somehow. Appearances, performances don't seem to wane at all. It'll be interesting to see. He had another senior man, if you like, next to him regularly in Rudiger. We shall see what happens with Mr. Koulibaly. Good business done by Chelsea in that regard. Him and Sterling in and around that 40 mil mark. Mad as it sounds nowadays, of course, that, you know, for the finished article as they are, that is great business. You can pay twice that for potential.
Yeah, I agree. I think we just want them to hit the ground running, don't we, when we start at the beginning of the season.
Sure, we'll be seeing them before long. Nicely done by Dos Santos. There's Dam. Not so nicely done by him. Conor Gallagher saw that, read it and pinched it. Havertz is on. Havertz is in. And Havertz has not scored. Best Chelsea chance so far made by Gallagher. Probably should have been finished by Kai Havertz.
Yeah, he's just trying to open up his body, isn't he? It's a shame it wasn't on the other side on his left foot. Having said that, Conor Gallagher, brilliant. And this was what we want to see from him come the season. The weight of pass was superb because it just gives Kai Havertz a chance to cushion the ball and then open up his body and try and slot it into the far top corner, but gets underneath it. And that's what we're talking about with Conor Gallagher. If he brings this to his game, to Chelsea, I think he's going to get more starts than people think.
First touch was good from Havertz. Malang Sarr too eager to get in there and win that.
He can't win that one, can he? It's going to be a foul all day. I think as well with the way the referee's been in these opening half an hour, I think the players should be used to the way he's refereeing the game, and any bit of physical contact seems to be taken as a free kick.
Barkley shielding it nicely.
Yeah, a good turn by him, to be honest. Could have put us in trouble there. If he'd lost possession, does really well. Just wonder what a goal would do for it, Ben, as well, if we can score before the break. Just wonder how they will be, the way they play the game. They'll look at it differently. At the moment, they're keen to get on the ball and try and be creative, not frightened of pushing players forward as well. Just wonder if they'll be a bit more reserved about the way they play.
Out first time by Kepa. Kai Havertz getting more and more used to being the centre forward as such. He's certainly not an out and out in that regard, but what it means is if he is the central member of even a fluid front three, he will be the one challenging for those aerial balls and that sort of thing. He's a tall boy.
Still young as well, isn't he? That's the thing. So he's still learning the game. I'd like to ask him the question, Ben, to be honest. You know, what is his favourite position? Is it as the number 9 sort of central role, or is it as a player either side? You know, he can play all the positions for me, but I wonder what it is personally for him to the position he would like to play the most. I suppose he'll say the ones he scores goals from, but
He'd do well to get anything other than a diplomatic answer from most players, really. Wherever the manager wants me.
That's the one.
Nicely switched. Here's Fidalgo, the Spaniard. This is promising. Corner.
Oh, I don't mind them trying to take shots from that sort of distance. I thought there was another couple of passes in there for Club America. They don't take the option, getting maybe a bit frustrated that they're not getting too many shots away on goal, and Kepa's dealt with everything so far.
Tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by Universal Orlando.
hanging back deep here on the back of the box. Plenty in there and whipped across.
It's a dreadful ball, Ben. I'll be honest, that is an awful ball. I know what he's tried to do. He's tried to fire it into the near post. He's looking for runners. And in doing that, in looking for the runner, he takes his eye off the ball and gets underneath it. And it flies up too high. Looks like a chance coming off.
He is the first choice goalkeeper, Mexican international. You may well recognise him from tournaments gone by. And, presumably plenty of players had a plan here. That is Oscar Jimenez, his replacement.
Substitution, Club America, leaving the game. Guillermo Ochoa, number 13. Into the game, number 27.
And it'll be a Chalobah throw here. Expect to see plenty of changes and expect to see some Blues that you might have forgotten about in recent times. Doesn't mean they don't have a future. Emerson, Ampadu, and the lesser spotted Michy Batshuayi amongst those on a full bench, along with more regular players like Alonso and Azpilicueta, Reece James, Mason Mount, Timo Werner. This crowd and you are going to see a lot, because I doubt there'll be many, if any, playing 90. Good hit from Kennedy, a good chance for Havertz in terms of the goal-scoring opportunities. And some stuff to enjoy from Conor Gallagher for sure so far. Now Sarr, Havertz making the run, dragging the defender with him. Here's Kennedy.
Well, it's a period of possession, isn't it, from Chelsea, and lots of passes, but there's a big yellow wall in front of us of players who really dug deep. A chance here for Kennedy.
Good ball that from Barkley. Ziyech surrounded by yellow, just trying to poke it through a gap that wasn't quite there.
I'd love to have seen Kennedy go the other way there. He had a chance.
Good defending from Thiago Silva and Chalobah. Gallagher tackling from the wrong side and carded for it. Miguel Layún fouled.
I think he knew what he was doing there, Connor, and didn't want the team to be sort of lightweight at the back. I think he wanted two defenders out of position and realised he had to try and slow him down at least, but fouls him. And going by what the referee's done so far, I guess that's the correct decision.
Confirmation of the caution. They've not made anything of the free kick. Instead, potential counter here with Ziyech and Havertz. Tight angle, Chelsea corner.
That's unlucky again. It's Havertz running from left to right, and it ball ends up on his right foot, and didn't have time this time to open up his body and shoot with the left, so he's got to have a swing. We'll take the corner. It was highly unlikely he was going to score from that angle, but the corner might be a better option.
Barkley, outswinger. There's no short option, so it's going into that crowd of blue around the penalty spot, ideally. Boom on the volley. A worldie one in a million effort.
These are the games you want to try them, though, isn't it? You know, if you've got the quality that players like Ziyech have got, you know, they got the capability of scoring wondrous volleys like that. Sometimes they fly in, sometimes they miss, like that one just did. You might as well try them in pre-season friendlies.
Fidalgo. Chilwell just losing out. Gallagher has it back. I think that's going to be offside. Indeed it is.
Yeah, just a yard offside there, Kai Havertz. Lucky. Those are the things he's going to have to do, is that main striker there is at times don't always come to feet. We had it maybe a little bit too much last season from Lukaku, and players like Timo Werner and Kai Havertz have got that pace and ability to run in behind.
Havertz had a great goal-scoring run that began with the penalty, his one penalty in his 14 goals. The one that made Chelsea champions of the world. It kick-started his best scoring run, 7 in 8, I think it was. Look at the early part of the year. So Chelsea are wearing with pride that little gold badge there.
Well, I think, you know, especially for forwards, they live on scoring goals and confidence, and I think if you get that confidence nice and early at the beginning of a season, you can hit the ground running quite quickly. The guy for me who's often we've seen over the last couple of seasons, Timo Werner, just a lack of confidence at times, gets himself in great positions, sometimes perhaps misses simple chances, but it's all down to a lack of confidence.
Gallagher drawing another foul. 6 minutes left of this first half. For many, that means 6 minutes left before an early shower. Ben Chilwell made a out to in run there. He's still lurking in that position. It's another foul and another free kick. This time on Barkley.
It's got to be a foul as well. He's bundled into the back of him, you know, and it's a simple one for the referee. He's had a busy first half.
He has. He might need a substitution. It's Keno, too keen, and blatant foul. I think he fancies this.
Yeah, just watch the eyebrows.
Effortlessly brilliant from Hakim Ziyech. Save of the game from the substitute. Jimenez denying Thiago Silva. That would have been a super goal. So hard to defend against quality like that.
Yeah, it's top quality, isn't it? I mean, Ziyech's free kick, we know he's got that left foot. Puts it into a great area. Thiago Silva gets good contact. Bit too close to the goalkeeper, but he makes a super save. Reacts really well.
Brilliant from all three, really. Just so effortless. That left boot wraps itself around the ball. Hakim Ziyech. I don't know why it looks nicer than a right footer doing it, but it just does. Kepa's come a long way here and was confident enough, quick enough, and calm enough, but not accurate enough with the pass. Still, he's got
It's not a bad ball,
Club
though,
America
is it?
turned around, actually.
I don't think he had a lot of choices there, Kepa, to be fair to him. I mean, I think it's not bad. This is the delivery again from a different angle, as we see there. A little bit close to the goalkeeper, but I'd love to see these free kicks working for us in pre-season. Maybe we can surprise a few early on in the start of the Premier League.
Scored 3 times last season, including one extra specially lovely one against Tottenham. Doing that, by the way, he became Chelsea's oldest ever Premier League goal scorer. 37 years and 123 days, surpassing Didier Drogba when he scored that. As we know, football began in 1992 with the Premier League. Might also add, the oldest player to start an FA Cup final since Stanley Matthews. That one goes a bit further back.
Is that before the Premier League?
Just. If you don't know, kids, look him up. He was half decent, apparently. Chilwell. Hudson-Odoi. I think he'd have liked to have seen more of the ball in this half. Done more with it when he has got it.
Yeah, again, it's for some players, maybe it's a bit too early for them to get into top gear. But again, Callum's another one of those players that needs to impress, I think.
And the sooner the better, for sure. I mean, no one's going to be in top gear game one in the middle of July, are they? That's just a fact. But Havertz running that line again, and just offside again, and a little frustrated again.
Yeah, I just wonder if he's putting his arms up as if to say, oh no, I'm offside again, or can't you deliver the ball a bit quicker and maybe I wouldn't be offside. But I don't think that's a particularly good run by him there. If you look at it there, he's running off the shoulder. He changes pace after he's offside instead of running the other side of the player and changing pace quicker.
Sarr and Chilwell nearly colliding there.
Yeah, just a bit of lack of communication, isn't it? I think Sarr sees the ball coming and thinks, whatever, I have got to make sure I head this ball. Chilwell tucks in and there's a little bit of a collision. The good thing is, one of them got the header in.
Malang Sarr actually, towards the end of the season, started playing a fair few games as the left-sided defender in various lineups, because Marcos Alonso essentially had, well, pretty much had it to himself. Obviously him and Chilwell were kind of in and out and swapping around and both playing well actually in the early part of the campaign, but then Marcos ended up being the only out and out. So Sarr was required on 1 or 2 occasions. A few other people played in there as well in various games.
The only thing I think is with Marcos Alonso, we know what we're going to get.
And he had a very good season. We're into the 1 added minute, and it's going to be a America corner here. Lyon trying to get over there to get on with it.
He does well, Kennedy there. Gets back into position really well. It was a decent enough ball. He couldn't afford to let the ball run, so has to make contact.
Don't concede now. Whipped in by Lyon. Good distance
Great
from
punch.
Kepa.
Absolutely brilliant by Kepa. That's a difficult one to deal with. That's coming across quickly. He's got a good fist on that. Good clearance.
Alvaro Fidalgo.
I don't know if the truck
Keno.
me, but I've got
Here's
Spanish
Keno here.
feed in my ear. That's what I'm hearing. I can't hear Jeff.
Well, there's the half-time whistle. He's had a busy game. And he's got a good sweat on, and he's not the only one. First 45 minutes of pre-season for Chelsea. Kai Havertz having the best chance for the Blues. Teed up very nicely by Conor Gallagher. Did everything right. Good touch. Just until the finish there. 1 or 2 scares at the other end. And a decent effort from Kennedy. I should think we'll see some coming out for the second half, but maybe not all that many. Pre-season has begun with 45 minutes in Vegas, 45 goalless minutes. Club America and Chelsea drawing 0-0. I am who I am, it says on Jorge Sanchez's neck. It's helpful reminder for him there. And they are out. Club America, we're just waiting to see who's going to be starting this second half for Chelsea.
I'll just see one or two players who would change there. Azpilicueta looks like he's going to be coming on, but it's always going to happen, isn't it? In the first game especially, changes at half-time always come along. There's usually quite a few, so
looks like it might be all change for the Blues. We'll confirm that for you in a second. So, none of the outfielders playing the full 90.
The only thing I would say, Ben, as well, is we're going to make some changes, and obviously we will. Maybe second half, we're going to just need to see a little bit more goal action. I'd love to see maybe some shots coming on goal. Got the second choice goalkeeper in there now. He's made a good save in the first half from the header from Thiago Silva. Can we get some more shots? Can we see some goal mouth action? And just make a few suggestions of what we're going to be about this season.
Well, the Chelsea supporters would certainly like to see that. Pulisic, Batshuayi, Werner, James, Mount, Jorginho, Alonso, Emerson, Ampadu, Azpilicueta. Kerr is the one who's staying on. You can see Michy Batshuayi in the blue of Chelsea for the first time in a long time. And there is Jorginho, who's been learning a bit of baseball on this trip.
Yeah, the likes of Reece James is out there, Mason Mount. We're going to see a different style perhaps second half from the Chelsea team.
Kerr isn't staying in goal. Marcus Bettinelli is in. Made his debut at the Bridge against Chesterfield in the FA Cup. No Mendy involved this evening. Referee steeling himself for another busy half. Christian Pulisic has been at the Barbers during the summer and back on home soil in a sense. And obviously he is big news, as are Chelsea. All changed then, different set of players entirely. Emerson looks like he's playing in there with Ethan Ampadu at the back. Marcos Alonso, Azpilicueta wide.
Just wonder if we've gone to a back four. Just thinking there's a back four. Marcos Alonso obviously plays his usual position. He doesn't play left back anyway. Plays more like a centre forward most of the time, but he'll be the one bombing up the left flank. But Ampadu will be obviously as a centre back, and Emerson looks like he's playing alongside him.
Kennedy appears to be the one who's made way for Reece James on that side. There's Mount. And then Batshuayi back to Timo Werner. Pulisic nearly onto it. So maybe it is still a three with Alonso and Reece James. You've got Jorginho in there with...
Yeah, I suppose it is, because Azpilicueta's in there as well as Reece, isn't he? So, yeah, we're looking still the same back three.
There was a spell of back four last season, wasn't there? Partly because he wanted to try and be flexible, but actually, as he said, sometimes it's actually all I can pick, because there was a spell where there was illness and injury, and he said, with what I've got, really I can only actually play a back four right now. That did happen for a little bit, but generally speaking,
I think we were at our best, should I say, with a back three. The likes of Alonso and Reece James bombing on as often as possible. Sometimes Azpilicueta when he played in that position of right wing back, but I think we can honestly say as a three we were probably better defensively.
Kino keeps it moving. Now one back high.
It's a good foot
Is
in
Werner.
as well.
Good pass. Pulisic. Chance! What an introduction that would have been.
Much, much better, isn't it? Winning the ball high up the pitch. Great foot in initially to win the ball. Wasn't a foul. And all of a sudden, Timo Werner's got a chance to run forward and makes the right choice with the pass. And so does Pulisic. Gets outside his defender and just tries to drive it across the face of the goal.
Taking some getting used to seeing him with highlights. That nearly was a genuine highlight. Batshuayi with the flick. It's a regular in Turkey last term. It's easy to lose track of the loanees. Nice ball that from Werner. Here's Jorginho. And he's a bit lucky there, Jimenez, because he's parried it straight out in front of him.
He is lucky. I tell you what, Jorginho does really well here. Just steps over the ball and just gives him the space to get the shot away. I think he was a bit surprised and maybe not enough power in the shot, but other than that, super play by Chelsea.
A very front foot start by this all-change team, that's for sure. Mason Mount with the latest shot. So odd to see Jorginho shooting from open play. I mean,
yeah,
almost never happens. The bloke passes pretty much every time.
I think he was surprised. He just dropped his shoulder and allowed the ball to run across his body, and the defender went with the drop of the shoulder. And I think he was surprised that he was able to find that bit of space for the shot, and that's why the shot wasn't perhaps as strong as it could have been.
There's someone who's got some power behind his right boot. We saw it a fair few times last season from Reece James, that's for sure. 6 goals and some genuine wallops in those. Thinking Norwich, and it was 2 at Newcastle, wasn't it? One with the right, one with the left. Couple of hammer blows there. Bettinelli here. And Emerson, who was a regular for Lyon. You don't always get what you want on loan, but actually a lot of the fellas we're seeing who've come on here did get exactly that. Ethan Ampadu, a regular with Venezia, lots of starts. Batshuayi, Besiktas in Turkey, Emerson with Lyon in Liga. Foul against the 2-time Player of the Year now, Mason Mount.
Yeah, I just think the pass was a little bit light. I think if it had been a bit heavier and just pinged into his feet, he wouldn't have made contact. He's just trying to shield the ball. It's not really a foul, is it? Defenders run into him.
Those slow motions never do any favours to either the assailant or, in fact, the victim. All happening a lot quicker than that.
It's a natural thing to do, though, to just get your arms up and just keep the defender away from the ball. You know, you're shielding the ball, and that's what you do. If he runs into your arm, then that's a different story and shouldn't have been a foul.
Jorginho coming to collect in the way that he always does, neatly done. She's been moved very nicely here. Brilliant back to front here from Chelsea. Shame about that ball from Alonso.
Just a bit short of pace, wasn't it? Other than that, Werner was in again.
Don't think this time last year you'd have expected Marcos Alonso to play 46 games. But, we were talking in the first half about that Chilwell injury, and I think fairly quietly actually Marcos Alonso went on and had a really consistent season.
He did. You know, he gives what you expect him to give. You know, he's a 100% player, and he's never frightened to get on the ball and go forward. He's full of confidence. And do you know what? I just think he loves playing football. He really enjoys the game.
Joining in with the attacks and popping in as a sort of inside forward, sometimes even the furthest player forward.
I think you could ask him to play anywhere. He'd enjoy it. He might not be the best at it, but he would enjoy it. And I think that is a good thing to have.
I think he'd make quite a good centre forward. No pace in that sense as a modern one, but movement, ball striking, technique.
He's always there anyway, isn't
and
he?
in the air.
Very good.
Brilliant in the air. And he's pitched up again there, you know, that inside left roll. He needs to get out of Mason Mount's way now. Nicely done by Mount. Here's Reece James. And cut out in the middle by Sebastian Cáceres. But Mount already looking bright. No mucking about from Jorginho. Still a time for Rose Ed, even in the modern keep ball game.
Yeah, that fan base has been massive.
Now, Werner helping it on. And now Pulisic as well. Batshuayi, it's all a bit tight in there, a lot of yellow shirts. Chelsea are going to have to use the width. Here's Chilwell. Alonso, excuse me. Now, Werner. Nice take, Batshuayi. We know he loves to shoot on sight.
Yeah, he's not
always has
he's
done.
not frightened to take a shot on, is he? Half a chance. And I tell you what a turn. Great turn, and gets a super drive away. Unfortunately, he goes out wrong side of the post, but great power, short back lift, fires it goalwards. Maybe deserved to get it on target after that super turn.
Never had a chance to be a regular. You know, his hit rate is pretty good. Jorginho trying to roll it through for Werner. Nope, not quite. Just such a regular substitute, playing little cameos here and there, Michy Batshuayi, when he has been at Chelsea, and then so many loans you can almost forget how many, but Valencia, Dortmund, Besiktas, 14 goals in the Turkish Super League last term. He'll be 30 before too long. He's signed as a young hotshot from Marseille. Mount into Werner. Jorginho. No way through to Batshuayi from there, but it will come from wide here. Reece James. Werner had to score, does score. Took 2 goes, but that'll do. 1-0 Chelsea. Pre-season up and running. And I think this second half side in particular, Clive, have looked bright.
Yeah, we've won the ball higher up the pitch in this second half, and I think that's proven with the goal there. I mean, you know, brilliant play, great ball over the top, and who but Reece James? I mean, great ball in, picks his man out, Werner, and Werner does well. You know, the first one's blocked, but he keeps his composure for the second attempt. This was the little run over the top from Reece James, takes his time, picks his man out. There's Werner, takes it first time, does the right thing, decent block on the line, and eventually gets a second chance, but he keeps his head cool. There we are, just slide it home. Really good finish.
It was a decent first save that from Jimenez, you know, because he'd stuck it into the ground, which we're often told by you finishers is quite a good thing to do, actually, into the ground and up, because keepers don't expect it. I was just saying, the build-up to that again, Mr. Cundy was banging on about this last season. Is there a better chest in football than Reece James?
No, Reece James's first touch
it is a weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Superb,
perfectly into his stride every time.
I think as well, we've got to look at, you know, the way the game's changed in this second half. For me as well, Jorginho has made a huge difference. We've already said he's had a shot in general play. Doesn't happen. He's high up the pitch. What's he doing there? Doesn't happen. And again there, he's high up the pitch. Now, is that because Club America are sitting deeper, which gives him a chance to just guide forward and sort of drift into that space and pick loose balls up? But he's getting into good positions, and he's made the pass for Reece James to make the delivery.
Sanchez gets it back. Club America looking for an instant response. That's a cute pass. It's a pull back of their own here, and there's Reece James on the defensive side.
Reece James back doing his day job, isn't he? Absolutely brilliant. Gets back into position.
What a player he is. Potential suitors can go away. Thank you very much. And he's making his run here. How about that for a touch?
It's a great run as well, isn't it? Good first touch. He just wanted the play to continue. Unfortunately, he had to come back and keep possession, but again, showing his ability. That's a good reverse pass by Werner.
Well, Alonso nearly in. Batshuayi is in. You know he wants to get the shot away. He was never going to pass to Pulisic, however much traffic was in front of him.
That's great.
I'll tell you what, when you got your head down, and the only thing he does is want to see what's happening. And he does get his drive away. How he gets his drive away with all those players in his way is a good thing. Unfortunately, straight at the goalkeeper.
You can see that the Chelsea wingers coming alive in this second half. The addition of Marcos Alonso has helped a whole lot to this Chelsea team.
Well, Clive Walker just got a little bit excited there and went all-American on you folks. A little bit of local comms bleeding through. Apologies for that. We're approaching the hour mark. Timo Werner has put Chelsea in front.
I mean, it's difficult to say. You know, we could say, yes, we look a better team in the second half. Difficult to say that. I think it's maybe
judgments made in pre-season are foolish.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't do it. And you can't say anybody's better than anybody else. But I think what's happened is obviously Thomas Tuchel's just had a word. I don't think it's been anything too heavy or too strong, but he just said be more positive, win the ball higher up the pitch if you can, and that means pressing. And we've seen Ethan Ampadu been good at the back. He's been waving his arms around and saying to players get higher up the pitch, pushing his defenders further forward, and it's squeezed the play for the midfield players, and it's helped us out tremendously.
Might make the game as a whole more stretched. Club America are about to, as we hit the goal, no! I was going to say they're about to make some changes. They've just changed the scoreline. Cesar Azpilicueta has rolled it past Bettinelli and it's 1-1. Bizarre. Get them out of the way in pre-season, folks.
Well, we're always going to have mistakes, aren't we? It's always going to happen, but well, it's disappointing when it happens like that. Bettinelli's come short, hasn't he, to put it onto his right foot. I think Cesar's just trying to play it centre goal. We'll see it again here.
It's Reece James.
Sorry, not.
And it's utterly extraordinary. Well, we said he's a weapon going both ways. But
and he just was not ready. The keeper.
So far, Bettinelli had gone near post. That's why they do say you're not supposed to pass it back
between the posts.
Between the posts, don't they?
They do say that, yeah. And again, Bettinelli's come outside of his near post, was never going to recover.
Here come the multiple changes. Richard Sanchez is on, the Paraguayan who got their winner in their last game.
Pre-season games, I'm sure they'll be going over that, over the film. And although I don't know much that you'd actually, tell.
Making way there.
James, I think he knows.
They made a few while we were having a look at the Reece James own goal there.
Has never happened in his career. It probably will never happen again.
Well, the back end of the season was littered with goals that were particularly irksome for all concerned, players and fans, and Thomas Tuchel. And once or twice he got a little bit frustrated post-match and said, yes, we're conceding more, but it's not because teams are opening us up, it's because we're making silly mistakes. And it did keep happening for a little spell there in the springtime, and I can think of tons of games where it happened. Everton, Arsenal certainly, and there were loads. And Chelsea architects of their own downfall there. And well, if you're going to do it when there aren't points on the line.
Yeah, for sure. This is the time to make mistakes in pre-season, and it happens. You know, these things do happen. You know, it's just a total misunderstanding, maybe lack of communication as well. But you're right, Ben. Those mistakes are going to be made from time to time.
Even his back passes are solid. He makes such a clean connection, Reece James, with everything he does.
One thing it's done is given Club America a bit of a lift. You know, they've got a bit of buzz about them now. Probably lacking in a little bit of confidence since Chelsea scored, and maybe it's just given them the chance to pick themselves back up again bit more adrenaline, a bit more of a urge to get forward, which might leave gaps for us as well.
Alonso. They defended that well. Emerson across to Jorginho. Jorginho had a couple of years playing with Koulibaly at Napoli. Under Signor Sarri. Pulisic moving it out wide to Reece James, who's had an effect in both boxes.
Yeah, we haven't seen Pulisic get on the ball where we know he can cause all sorts of problems. Like him coming deep, finding that bit of space, but also need him to be getting in the box and making things happen with his footwork. At least he kept the ball moving there, which was good. Get a corner.
Party on the penalty spot, in it comes. Batshuayi tried to get the glancing head on it. Ampadu. Batshuayi.
I think he was going to look for a shot.
I mean,
again,
it's unbelievable.
He has only one thing in his mind, we know that.
But every time.
Yeah.
There is a time to pass. I don't know if I've ever seen a striker more single-minded. Jermaine Defoe did it a lot. You know what I mean? Just basically anywhere near 20 yards out.
Exactly. And you know, listen, they all do it. Centre forwards.
No, but some do it more than others.
That's what. That's what they do. That's why they score goals.
Pulisic, that is a great turn. And he gets the pass off to Mount. Here's James again. That academy combination working again. Back to Mason Mount. They've played together for so long, those two. It's almost telepathy.
Yeah, it is. And it's a great run. He's run a long way there, Mason Mount, to get into position. I just thought the pass he did in the end was the wrong choice. I think maybe he needed to drive it across rather than pick it up to the far post.
A combo nearly working out nicely there between Werner and Pulisic as well. There's definitely more guts to this second half, I would say, from both sides actually. Is that it's just being played at a slightly higher tempo. Well, Batshuayi was thinking about his turn, I think, and maybe took his eye off the ball
just
there.
Missed his touch, yeah, he's offside. He's
Would
coming back from an offside
anyway.
position. But you're right, and I think it's been about us pushing him from the back and winning the ball higher up the pitch. Oh, that's a tight call as well. Just about offside.
Taking his time here, Jimenez. Long time to wait for a clearance that bad. There's Jonathan Rodriguez, the Uruguayan who came on in that latest raft of subs. Ooh, Bettinelli under pressure. Jorginho will just play those passes like they're nothing. And he's another one there, completely surrounded, no problem.
It's excellent by Jorginho. Has your heart in your mouth, doesn't it?
Because once a season, and it's only once, it goes wrong and someone does score from it, or a penalty's given away or something. But given that he also does do it successfully about 4 or 5 times in every game, that is, you've got to think about it that way. It's 200 times a season that Chelsea have played out from the back successfully. So 200 to 1. Werner making the run, ball over the top. Will actually get closer to Alonso. Closer still to Jimenez.
He does well there, Ethan Ampadu, but his choice of pass was poor. You know, those other options, I think simpler options. Goes for the big pass towards Werner, overcooks it, and it was too long for Alonso. So got to try and make the passes better than that. When you intervene as a centre back and you play between the lines, that's when you've got to make the right choice. Like that.
Into
like
Werner.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mason Mount,
That's
first time ball. Wonderful. To Alonso. Batshuayi in the middle. Ball was way too close to Jimenez, and it wasn't just Batshuayi either. For him, that's disappointing. He's better than that.
Do you know what? I think he's got to shoot, Lonzo.
And
I think he's got to fire that goalwards, I'll be honest.
Jeff.
Just head down, hit across the face of the goal, far bottom corner. Keeper makes a save, Batshuayi gets a tap in.
We've seen him batter enough of those in from exactly that position.
And that's why I'm surprised that he tried to feed it in. I thought that's typical Alonso to get into that position on his left foot, fire it goalwards, have a go.
Been a regular scorer since he came. Half a dozen goals in his first season.
To settle in. Obviously, you've had the
and
one
again
mistake,
last, he got 8
which,
in
mistakes
the second year.
Here might be another one.
Martinelli under a bit of pressure. Doesn't feel like we've seen the end of the scoring here. There's a quarter of the game left.
It's been lively, hasn't it, second half? You know, maybe the referee probably hasn't intervened as much. It's been a bit more fluent from both sides, to be fair. More from Chelsea. You feel more possession of the ball, but I think Chelsea have looked the more dangerous of the two sides.
Mason Mount looking like Mason Mount again. Here he is. Played 53 of the 63 matches last term, Mason Mount. Only Mendy and Rudiger played more minutes. Backing up a Player of the Year season with another Player of the Year season. Foul on Ampadu.
I can understand that. Martinez just trying to turn his man before the ball even gets there. That's why the foul was given.
Bumped by the number 200. Could have a ban on 3-figure numbers, surely. Surely there's enough to choose from between 1 and 99.
1 and 11 would do.
I would say those days are gone, but Burnley did it last season. There was a game where Burnley fielded 1 to 11. Here's Conor Gallagher, Jorginho. Reece James will be eager to make up for the back pass own goal. Alonso, that's a better ball. Oh, just too high for Pulisic, who doesn't count height amongst his attributes. Batshuayi trying to finish that one off.
This comes in a little bit awkwardly for Batshuayi, but on another day he makes good contact here. That's a goal. It's a great ball in from Reece James. Pulisic does well just to get something on it, just slows the ball down. A quick delivery into the near post. That's where you want to be as a centre forward. Batshuayi just about gets across his man, but doesn't make the best of contacts.
.20 to play, or thereabouts. Spilicueta. Good ball. It's Alonso with that high and wide position. Good ball from him too. Needed a better bit of control from Timo Werner though.
Yeah, I think he's just on the stretch, isn't he? I mean, it's a great little ball round the corner. And he normally thrives on deliveries into him like that. Just gets away from him. That's a good touch.
Mount trying to give and go with Batshuayi. Emerson, lovely. But off the mark from Christian Pulisic.
Yeah, just didn't have enough time to jump, did he? The ball comes in quite quickly and it's just a little bit too high for him. I think if he had the time to jump, he'd have made better contact. Doesn't quite get off the ground. Lovely ball by Emerson.
Whipped in, wasn't it? He's always had a good delivery, Emerson. Pulisic actually needed to get less head on it, really. The scuffer might have taken it goalward. far more injuries last term, never mind the COVID absentees, but more injuries for longer than Chelsea have had in recent memory. Huge amount of matches missed. Be various issues that might be a little more interesting this term as a result, if people can stay fit. We'll come back to that in a minute. Alonso to Mount. And Pulisic again. That one takes a deflection. It's a corner.
Yeah, they're queuing up for it here, aren't they? And can't quite get the angle and the shape of the ball to strike it cleanly. Slight deflection. I think if Pulisic had his head up here, he could have just slid the ball into Batshuayi. He might have been in a better position, but the deflection takes it away for a corner.
Which Emerson takes deep. We've seen 3 at left wing back for Chelsea tonight. Up to last season, Marcos Alonso was the only real contender, with a bit of help from a few others filling in. That's something I was going to ask you about, Clive. With Marcos playing a lot because Chilwell was out, obviously, for most of the season. Reece James had 3 months out, so Azpilicueta also on the other side played more than he might otherwise have done. If you get a scenario where all 4 are fit all season, it'd be in a way more disappointment. That thing with injuries actually enables you to keep more players happy in a funny sort of way.
Yeah, it does, because everybody wants to play. But, you know, I think what you get from the experienced players, the likes of Alonso, you know what's coming. You know what you're going to get. We're now getting that from Reece James. Certainly going to do that. Is Ben Chilwell going to get back to that top player that he was before the injury? That's a bad injury. You know, let's hope he's back up to speed when the season starts. Is he going to push Alonso? Is that how it's going to work? We'll have to wait and see. You'd have to think that Reece James maybe is going to play before Cesar Azpilicueta, for instance. But we've tried other players in those positions as well. Callum's played in that right wing back position.
Yeah, Pulisic, even Ziyech, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek actually had a couple of really good performances as a wing back. Eyebrows raised when went to St Mary's, and he played right wing back, and he was absolutely brilliant and set up some goals, and Chelsea scored 6. Yeah, that one on the left is interesting, because clearly Aspi, adored as he is by everyone, including Thomas Tuchel, he is also an option in the 3 at the back, depending on what happens with recruitment, because Christensen and Rudiger have gone. You'd think if fit, Reece James will start more games than Azpilicueta does, but like you say, it's a long time out for Chilwell. He doesn't just automatically get it back, you know, that starting berth.
Can take a bit of time.
And they might be in and out. Pulisic away from the challenge here. Pass it now for Batshuayi. Flag up. It's not going to count, but he's missed it anyway.
I think he's done ever so well here, Pulisic, as well. Just a mistimed pass or a mistimed run. I don't think Batshuayi could do anything different. He's gone from left to right.
Could he pass it there? Oh,
such a tight call, isn't it? I think Pulisic might have taken an extra step and maybe put in Werner as well. So that was another choice, but great running by Pulisic. You know, really rides the challenge well on the halfway, which breaks it open between the lines, and that gives him a chance to show his pace. We haven't seen him actually do that in the game, so it's good to see.
Too eager. Ethan Ampadu has always been a tackler who'll back himself to pinch anything, and that nature can bring free kicks against, but he's always been confident. I remember watching his full debut against Jermaine Defoe. He got booked inside the first minute and then played absolutely brilliantly for the rest of the game. Cup tie at the bridge. It's Bournemouth. He wasn't used very often, just a handful of appearances that season, but every time he played, he looked the part.
Of course, he's played in other positions as well. He's played the holding role in midfield as well.
For Sheffield United.
Yeah, and he looked good at it as well. So he's got the ability.
Now, Bettinelli might be required here. First up, Emerson required. Good challenge, denying Roman Martinez.
Yeah, there's the one time where attacker gets between two of our defenders. Still defending to do.
Good header, Alonso. And a foul on him as well.
And again, we've always said, haven't we, Marcos Alonso in that position for me, second to none. Back him all day long. Pass to the ball, good in the air, excellent.
15 or so to play. Two halves for the Blues, two different lineups. A 0-0 draw for Team 1 and a 1-1 draw at the moment for Team 2. Alonso is not getting away with that. He's picked up a card for it as well. Free kick from there, please.
Yeah, just his first touch was poor, wasn't it? From Marcus to try to push the ball inside, doesn't get it right and loses possession, and desperate to get it back. Gets the yellow card for his troubles.
James nodding it down. Out by Azpilicueta. Pulisic has had some really bright moments this half. He's also had a couple of finishing chances that have been off the mark. Here's Reece James. Batshuayi in the middle. But he wasn't the only one.
Again, it's unlucky, isn't it? Good attacking play. Superb from Pulisic as well. Game's getting more and more stretched though as it gets closer, as both teams look for the winning goal.
Ball on there for Roman Martinez. I think he was going for the cross, and his mate in the middle there.
That's a wild strike in the end. That's half an opportunity. Opened it up well, but dear oh dear, that's poor. Nowhere near the target.
Alejandro Zendejas wide of the mark that time. Werner. Far more holes in there as Chelsea go in search in one direction. Back door left a little more open in the other. Excellent challenge, Azpilicueta.
Perfect, wasn't it?
As
Perfectly
usual.
Well timed. Just feel there might be a goal in the game though, Ben, over the last 10 minutes. Both teams now looking to stretch each other and ask questions about can you defend. But just like to feel that Chelsea's quality would shine through.
Here he is again, Aspie. If he can get another 20-odd games under his belt this term, the 500 mark will be passed. That is astonishing in modern terms at the level we're talking about of Chelsea, competing at the very top level. 500 for one club. You're not going to see that very often by anyone anywhere. Here's Timo Werner. Alonso. Onside. Mount just there to the loose ball. Reece James. Hammer. Well, he tried to.
His first touch just gets away from him, doesn't he? I mean, Mason does well because he's looking for the shot initially and gets the ball out to Reece. His first touch just rolls a little bit too far, which enables the defender to get across and get the block in. And these are the little things, Ben, that we talk about that happen in pre-season, the small things, that loose touch which just gets a little bit too far away.
Happens more in pre-season. Still happens during the season too.
Sure.
Here's Mount. That's neatly done. There's a famous scalp to take here for Club America, you know. Don't forget that part of it. Pre-season friendly or otherwise. Well supported here. Big switch from James to Alonso. Just got there. Oh, well done. Mason Mount. Brilliant!
What a goal.
A goal of Player of the Year quality. You don't stop those. It's a ripper from Mason Mount with 8 to play. That's entertainment, folks, Las Vegas style.
It is. I just felt there was a goal coming. The game was getting stretched and players were finding lots of space through midfield, and all of a sudden Mason does what Mason does really well. Marcos Alonso does well initially to keep the ball in play. I thought it was going to run out, but he gets there, keeps it in play, plays a lovely ball into Mason Mount, and there he is with that wonderful right foot of his. There we see the delivery. Just thought the shot was on initially, then it was much tighter, but goodness me, short back lift, lots of power, bang on target. What a goal.
One sliding challenge next to him there, and he knows the next one is a moment away. As you say, minimal, but then maximum. Boom! What a goal.
Oh, pre-season or not, I'm more than happy with that.
And so will his best mate, Reece James. Thank you for bailing me out, Mason Mount. Now, can Chelsea hang on? Well, he didn't have a hope with that, Jimenez, in fairness, and he made a really good stop on the opening goal. But that is top-level quality from a top-level player. Will it be the winner? Cracking goal.
Well, I think the game deserved a winning goal as well. Both sides have put in a lot of energy to try and win it. I think Chelsea have been more dangerous of the two sides and more likely who was going to get a winning goal. Unfortunate with the Reece James own goal. But there's been some good stuff, especially second half, some exciting stuff to watch. Pulisic getting through midfield. I thought Jorginho settled things down in the second half and got things going really, really well. He's gone quiet now because he probably feels his job's been done. And defensively, we've been good enough as well. Probably pushed up the pitch a bit higher, played a little bit closer to their midfield so we can engage with them. And then we see the rewards, the likes of Mason Mount scoring the goal he did.
Well, we had the pleasure of watching it through the youth ranks. Derby County had the pleasure of his presence. So did Vitesse Arnhem before that, actually. And we're always saying, once he was a regular, and he was immediately, of course, for Frank Lampard in his first season in charge, it was often said by us and others, once he adds a few goals, he will be the complete package. And in his seasons, Clive, he went 8, 9, and then last season 13. So ticking up each time. I mean, you do well to... I mean, he does play... It's not like he plays as a deep midfielder, but you do well to pass 13, I think, because remember, Chelsea played 63 games last time. He played 53 of them, but if you're double figures...
Yeah, anything over the 10 mark is a good return, but if you asked him, he'd probably say, I've got to try and beat 13. You know, that's inevitable. That's the sort of thing you do.
Yeah, when Frank started getting those sorts of figures, you were thinking, can you keep that going? And he just kept going up, didn't he? Went to 17 and then 19 and then
exactly.
22.
Yeah.
Jorginho.
Interesting as well that since Chelsea have scored, it's been all about possession, Ben. I don't know if you noticed that now it's a question of just finishing the game off and wait for the opportunities like this one.
On the counter, it's Alonso. Oh, Pulisic was hoping for the tap in, so too Batshuayi. It's a corner.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where Alonso, I'm not saying runs out of steam, but lacks the bit of pace that perhaps you would need in this situation with a different sort of wing back, a Chilwell or someone like that. Get into that position. Chilwell's pace would have taken him further on. Alonso didn't have the pace, so he's trying to feed it in. I just thought Batshuayi just holds back, and I don't know why. It was Pulisic that comes flying in at the far post.
The match winner in waiting delivers the corner. Azpilicueta was interested there for a moment. Emerson hits it just wide, but only just.
It's a strange connection he makes here, Emerson. Although he gets it close to the post, I just don't think he goes with conviction. It's more of a side foot doesn't quite get it, does he? Smashes it into the ground, really just drags it past the post. This was the goal. It's a short back lift and a great bend and swerve and an immense power he gets out of it as well. Super goal.
Just gorgeous. The goal, I mean. Neatly done by Zendejas. They're looking Club America for a late equaliser here. 2 minutes to play plus whatever is added on. It's very congested in there. Shot still got away by Jonathan Rodriguez.
He's off balance, isn't he, as he's trying to take the shot and slices it well wide. And I suppose in the last few minutes, every challenge you make in and around the box, you don't want to give away free kicks. So thankful that it did miss the target.
Well, that is a big screen. Alonso, another fine jump to win that header.
Poor touch by Batshuayi as well, and that's where he's got to secure it better. When Alonso wins those sorts of headers, which he often does.
The rare misplaced header from Marcos Alonso there. A good sweat. We hope no injuries. The bonus of a win is tantalisingly close. That will be job well done. The pre-season game, number one.
I think after the first half, Ben, it's nice to see us come out and get a couple of goals. You know, I think that's what we needed. Yes, fitness is massively important. No injuries, of course. See us score goals and look more dangerous in front of goal second half was a big thing, I think, after watching that first 45 minutes.
Sanchez forward to Valdez. 3 added minutes then. There's the answer. Good defending, skipper.
And just making sure we'll get to the ball first, and I think we always say that. Defending to do here from the corner though. Always worrying in the last few minutes.
Something that crept in a bit towards the end of the season. Late goals conceded for a defence that was generally very tight for a big chunk of the campaign. There's plenty in that box. Alonso was the tallest head. Now Timo Werner's caught his man there, right in range. And it's Reyes, and they rather will fancy this.
Yeah, I think he's just got cramp, hasn't he, Reyes? Has he made a great deal of contact here? Yeah, just a bit late with his foot, and it's high. You can understand the referee giving the free kick. I think he's gone honestly for the ball. I don't think he's meant to hurt him. Just on the follow through. Just catches him across the top of the ankle, and looks like he felt that one. Bit sore, but he'll be okay. But it gives them a chance, does it? This is what we don't want. Minute and a half to go.
Well, they've been waving those for most of this half, and they've set off a few flares. They might be celebrating an equalising goal here. Jorginho making sure he doesn't depart the scene too early.
What a time to do it as well. This time of the game, your fans right behind the goal, creating one heck of a noise and trying to suck the ball into the back of the net. This looks like the last chance for Club America. Warner gets a yellow card for his troubles.
Well, they need a strike comparable to that of Mason Mount a moment ago here. Valdez is there. They've got some friends in front of that Chelsea wall as well. That'll do. Closer to his beloved fans there from Valdez than the back of the Bettinelli net. And that ought to do it.
It's poor, isn't it, in the end? Maybe a bit of a tired swing, but you've got to really test the goalkeeper. Nothing for Bettinelli to do there at all. And an easy finish to the end of the game.
Alonso just doing enough. I always tell you the results don't matter, but in the final seconds of stoppage time, you're wanting that whistle. And the ball is at the right end of the field. Full time and a win. And a particularly entertaining second half, I think, there for the Vegas fans to enjoy. Timo Werner putting Chelsea in front first time, Mason Mount winning it with an absolute crackerjack a few minutes from time, in between a comedy own goal from Reece James that in the end doesn't matter too much. Chelsea's pre-season is off to a winning start. Next stop, Charlotte.